going on, Mad Reds? A little bit of a change up, a little bit of a surprise video. Did not schedule it, but I've just been talking on social media, putting out a few points out there. And I just thought, you know what, it's probably better just coming on. Well, I've got a spare minute in between work, jobs, van camming it, as I always like to, or every now and then. But the main issue that I've got with what's happened today and what I found out today, which I didn't even know about, but not only are we all well aware, if you're not well aware, then it is probably what is going to happen, that United are putting in the bid for Sancho this week. Yeah, we are putting the bid in for Sancho this week, but it has been widely reported now, and I've heard it a few times from different people just today, that this bid is absolutely pointless for Jadon Sancho because it's going to be straight out rejected because it's absolutely nowhere near the price that Dortmund want, the price that we all knew Dortmund wanted. If you follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, you'd have seen me post this out earlier on. But while I've got a few minutes and spare time in between jobs, I thought, you know what? I'll just come on and see what you guys think about it. And oh man, it's infuriated me. Not only has this Sancho issue infuriated me, but I'm looking at the rest of the news that's going on today, and I did not know about this until I heard someone talking about it today. That Premier League teams can actually do business with Championship teams and lower league teams, Championship down that should be, for another 10 days. It goes on till I think the 14th of October. The window is still open, and there is a deal in place where the Premier League clubs can actually do business outside of the Premier League and top flights with lower league teams. And straight away I was like, oh my God, I did not even realize this was possible. But you know exactly where I'm going with this, and you know the kind of worms that this is going to open up, because the names I'm going to mention, you already know it. I posted it out on Twitter earlier on, and everyone came in on exactly the same names. You could name a position in that team that United need to sort out and rectify, and he's a Championship player for it. Let's just go through them now. Player number one, I mean, we all know exactly who this guy is. He keeps getting linked with us all the time. But you know, the guy links himself with us. He's that cocky. Over that reason alone, the fact that his record is crap as it is, he's playing in the Championship now, in a relegated team in Bournemouth. You know it, yeah. Josh King, seriously, man. The guy's got an ego trip. Really, how he can see himself as good enough for Manchester United is beyond me. Even worse so, the fact United are even considering it just does my nothing completely. How United think that this guy is the answer. If this does happen and we do not get Sancho over the line, there is going to be absolute pandemonium in the fan base. Are they using the COVID situation as an excuse? It's been said before, because no one can really go around protesting. They know they're not going to get any fans into the stadium anyway, so it's not really going to matter. Are they using that to their advantage in these sort of situations? But Josh King, seriously, we go from Sancho to Josh King, then it's time to start thinking that this is the end. That's how I see it. I really do. No matter how good our first team is, and we all know we have got a good first team. We're not hitting it off at the moment. We all know that as well. But when we get it right, we can get it right. And we are a dangerous team. But adding Josh King to that does nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because why play a striker in Josh King? I can't even believe I'm discussing this and why Josh King's attributes would suit our team anyway. But we don't have wingers. Josh King is a bully. We got rid of that guy in Lukaku, and I'm not even comparing the two, so don't even say it or even try me on it. It's not even there, but you know where I'm going. For a player of Josh King's style, I'm clutching here. I'm clutching. I'm trying to save myself by talking up that he has got something to actually offer when he's not. Not for me anyway. You may disagree, but not for me. We don't play wingers. We don't put crosses into the box. We haven't done since Ollie's been in charge. You know what I mean? Even when we play five at the back, we've got no width and we try and play wing backs. We're absolutely useless at it. So why bring a player in like that? It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, and is the most ridiculous signing the club will ever make. Pointless. Absolutely pointless. You can say Gallo is a similar, but let's be honest. Yeah, Ighalo was free. We took our chance, and you know what? We're now seeing the quality that Ighalo is. He's not as good as he was at the start. He did his job last season. The deal should have been cut there. We spoke about this already many a times. That deal was finished then, so it shouldn't have even been brought up. So next thing, I'm looking at Josh King going, even if you bring him in and make an excuse for him to come in, a price as well. Go away. Seriously. We got turned down for 20 million in January for Josh King. Seriously expecting us to come back, and I've heard Spurs are in for him today. Good, perfect player for Mourinho. That's how Mourinho plays his football. Go there. All he should be just wide berthing this deal completely, because it's not going to help this club, this team. It's not going to help him, because how is Ollie going to think he is surviving that long to even fit Josh King into this team when everyone else is fit? It's brain dead on every single level, in my opinion, and cannot happen. Worse to come. What else do we need? A centre-back. And we all know we like a little deal with Swansea, don't we? Next name on the reel, Rodon. Oh, my God. This was just a flickering conversation months ago that we're even taken seriously. I hoped it wasn't going to be taken seriously. But you know what? This could easily just come straight in and be the shock. Well, not so much a shock with the way we're moving, but you know what? It could come in, and this deal could happen easily with United. We know that Championship clubs haven't got as much money. United buying their time, seeing out the window, making a fleeting attempt to buy Jadon Sancho just so it looks like we are trying. The only reason Van der Beek came in was because Van der Sar was the opposition's DOF. We all know it. United working out their strategy here now to make it look like we're trying to buy the big player, knowing that we've got this reserve tactic of Championship clubs needing money, waiting until right at the end of the window, like literally the window's gone, and we're dealing with a Championship window, like I said at the start, and offering stupid low-ball prices to these Championship teams to get their best players, the Championship's best players. How Ole can even think about letting this happen is beyond. It's beyond. We need players. We know we need players. I'd rather have no one than bring any Championship players in. No, let me make that clear. Forget it. Great point there by Mark One, Tarkowski, centre-back. I'd rather have Tarkowski. Do you know what I mean? He's a local guy. He's a local lad. I'd rather have him than going into the market for a Championship defender. I really would. I'm not a Tarkowski huge fan. He's nowhere near good enough for the football club. Oh, I may be wrong, but has Ollie really got time to take a chance on players like that? When you're watching City over the road concede 5 and then going out spending 65 million on a centre back? This is the standard and the level that this club should be at. You know what, City have just spent another 100 million on the defence. That's they're 100 million off from $500 million being spent by Pep on a defence. And we're scraping the barrel looking at bagging basement, second chance saloon, Championship window players. Forget it. Rodon, no. Josh King, no. Please, no. I'm begging you, United. Don't do this. It may all not happen. I'll just try and bring the tone down a little bit. Because people at the shopping car park are looking at me like a weirdo. My hands are flapping everywhere. But seriously, come on now. We may buy Sancho, we may. But the noises I'm hearing today from people well in the know say that this bid is going to go nowhere near what Dortmund want. Let's be honest, we all knew this anyway. It don't matter who says it. We've all known the price for Dortmund from the start of the window. We knew the price since the German league finished, months before ours even got near halfway through. So it's no hidden surprise what the actual price is for Jadon Sancho. So, yeah, unless something miraculous happens, then this looks like the strategy for United. It scares the hell out of me. It really does. But I'm sat there thinking, I'm going, you know what? This actually could be the plan. This could well be the plan and how United work. We were in James Cooper today saying United are seriously working hard. They're ringing every single agent going, trying to find options other than Sancho, second options for Sancho. It's all on. Everyone's working. Why is this not happening at the start of the window? Seriously, why do you have to wait till now? And you know what? None of these players that are mentioned in the Championship, none of them have moved. Not one of them has moved. And it's strange because clubs were touting these players. And why are these ones still at their clubs? Why are they still there? That's my worry. Because the next name on the list, you all know it. It's another one that's been linked from that club down south. Brooks. David Brooks. Seriously, guys. I can understand the arguments that a lot of you have with David Brooks saying, you know what, he's a good player. It's the type of player that United should buy. The type of player United should buy when they're winning trophies and Ferguson's at the club. That's the type of player that Brooks is, who can be mentored and integrated into a world-class team. We're not there. These players are going to come, fall and die, and it'll just kill their careers. I'd warn any player of that ilk to not come to this club because your mentality isn't going to be good enough, strong enough to handle this fan base, what we're throwing at you and what we expect from this club and United to actually produce. It's not fair on them. Like Daniel James and the criticism he's getting, yeah, you've got to admire everyone's effort and work ethic. But at the end of the day, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. It's as simple as that. You just don't. So look at it like this. The money's great to come to United. We all know that. But look at the duck eggs that are still here, living on it. Hopefully they get moved on this week. That's the best bit of transfer news I've heard this week about the players that could be on the way out. Nothing about what's coming in. But going back to Brooks again, I understand your argument, people. The ones who say he's a good player, yeah. Let's see what his professional career at the age of 23, playing at the top level. He's had, 40-odd games at the top level, and now he's in a Championship. You think that is what we need right now, then good for you. But don't go moaning when we don't get anywhere and we can't move past 4th and 5th when we're supposed to be closing the gap on the top 2. You know what I mean? Don't come moaning when we bought these sort of players. Because you know what? As good a potential he has got, he's never going to fulfill it at Manchester United. The club isn't in the situation or in the position to buy players like this and bring them through. It's just not going to work, never will. And it will end up killing another young lad's career. You know what I mean? There's talk of Dan James going on loan to Leeds now. Why is that happening? Why is that happening? Because we thought we was the club we once was, who could make lower league players better, find these hidden gems and make them a world-class player. James had a great start, but when you get sussed in the Premier League, there's nowhere to hide. There really isn't. That's happened to Daniel James this season. He's had good moments, but inevitably, he's been easily found out. And we know what his strengths are, and he's not played to them once for me this season, last season. He started off well, but past that, no. Not happened. Not happened at all. And it is just, it's a shame, but this is what happens, and this is why I don't think a player like Dave Brooks should come into Manchester United. It's just not going to work for him, for us, or for him, guaranteed. Because Ollie's looking at this and going, what makes you think, Ollie, that you're going to be at the club in 2 years' time when someone like Brooks sees his full potential? He's not. He's not going to. Use the youth that you've got to save yourself. Don't go and kill another player's career, because the next manager coming in isn't going to get the time either. I'm not saying I want Ollie out by saying that. I'm saying this is what will happen, because if we don't make the Champions League, then Ollie is, if he's treated the way that the other managers have been at this football club, then he's out, innit? It's as simple as that. He has to go. If you're looking at it from Glazer and Woodward rule, that's what will happen to Ollie. So Brooks is a no-go. As simple as that. I will get to some of your comments in a minute, people. It's a bit different when I'm doing it off the old dog and bone. But yeah, next one on the list. Now, this is one that some people would say probably isn't a bad option in South and Watford. This was one you could really see happening, especially after the Premier League window shuts, because he has shown qualities last season in the Premier League in the position of Sancho. But then again, I'll say it, I'm not going to use the Brooks rule just because I don't think he's got what it takes, but I like this player better. It's the same goals for Sarr. 1 season in the Premier League. Is that good enough? Is that what United are scouting? Is this what this club has come to? I mean, come on. Seriously, as much potential as he got, he's come on the scene this year, and there's no way that United have been scouting this guy. There's not a cat in hell's chance. He's one who's come through, scouted by a lower league team. Scouted by someone from Watford, seen potential, come to Watford under no pressure, just go for it, enjoy your first season, not being found out, and bang, there you go. That's what happens. Is that United's new scouting system now? We have to see other teams find these players and then try and steal them off them. I'm looking at Bayern Munich at the moment as a big incentive to try and bring their own youth back through again. There are noises coming out of Bayern Munich about I'm not happy with the fact they're having to keep buying the talent. They're looking to really go back into their youth system, to their roots and how it used to be. So, you know what? It scares me. It scares me the United setup in terms of, is this what our scouting system is actually bringing through? Cheers for this super chat, Piotr Bajihihi, if that is. I'm sure you just did that name for me to say it and look like an absolute idiot, but cheers, mate. I'm only messing. If we sign King this week, I'm legit gonna fly down to Manchester and riot, mate. You know what I mean? That's what it's gonna do. Like I said, there'll be pandemonium. Paul, I know it's a scary thought, mate, Paul. It is. It really is. I don't want to think it, but you know what? People moan at negativity. It's not negativity. It's just facts. It's facts, Paul, isn't it, mate? That's what it is. People don't like to hear the truths. Just going to double check. Make sure I've got everything in here. All the messages. Sorry, guys. It's a bit different when it's on the old phone arena. Alien, how you doing, mate? What are you saying, pal? Imagine if we get Sancho back in January on loan. Sanchez back. Oh, God, shut up swearing, Alien. Come on. You know, because there's no money. It was never going to go into United because there's no money, says 78% and falling. Oh, right, scary. Absolutely scary. Adam, love and Adam Rants. Would you swap Lingard for Dele Alli? Problem is, you know what? A lot of people would, and I would probably be in that bracket because Dele Alli's got something. But again, how many creative midfielders do we want? He's a good player, the right player at the wrong time. One of them, innit? Right player, wrong time. I'd take Dele Alli. I think the guy's got talent. I really do. And he's just not going to get in our team, is he? He's really not. He ain't going to get ahead of Bruno. He ain't going to get ahead of Van der Beek right now. So, for the sake of bringing a player in, I just don't want to do it simply for that reason that he's not going to play and he's going to be another one there on huge wages, stopping someone else coming who we need in another position. And that is it. That's what I feel about it. It's just what it is, isn't it? The players that are available seem to be the ones that we don't bleed and need. That's the problem. What else is going on? Great content, usual, mate. A chance of unblock on Twitter. You do? Did I block you? I don't block anyone usually. I don't know. I'll have a look into that, Aaron, mate. I don't usually block anyone unless you personally abuse me. But yeah, I'm not like everyone else. I don't block people for the sake of them disagreeing with me. That's just the way I am. I don't care. I like an argument. No problem with that at all. Groundhog FC United, mate. Adam, mate. Yeah, God, don't tell me about it. Same. Lingard is back up to Rashford and right wing this season, I think. Mate, as much as I don't like that comment, it sounds about right, doesn't it? Ali, any day. I know now he's not any day though, is it right now? He's a player that we'd take, but we don't want to because he's not going to play. Does that make sense? I don't know. Even that Kante rumour today, it's a good point. I've seen that one today as well. And it was like, oh man, I would have took Kante a few years ago, but is he past it? Are them injuries enough of a concern not to bring him in? Great cover. Great holding midfield player. Has he still got it? He's at that age anyway. He could still do a job. I mean, bleed now, we just signed up a 31-year-old to a 3-year deal in Matic. So, I don't know. All he says we need to get a bit more experience with the youth. So, maybe. Personal terms FC, John P. Bang on, mate. Personal terms. Tell us. Personal terms. All the time. Oh, for God's sake, come on. Just never mind. It's like, how many players have United signed on personal terms? Seriously. Sancho's agreed, Reguilon's agreed, Tellez has agreed. I was surprised how quickly Van der Beek went through. Like, that was probably one deal that we actually got done like a normal football club. But right now, I'm seeing City do what they did today, and that's scary now, because that just means that them owners are not going to sit still and let this happen. 5 goals conceded, 70 million centre back. I know he was in the works, but we've seen the frailties of City and their centre backs and lack of numbers, and they've reacted on it. They've gone and got the deal done. Enough is enough. Shipping 5 goals at home, not having that. No way, that's not our standard. Bang, 70 million. There you go. And like I said, it's 400 million on a defence Pep spent. And that's brutal. And he's managed to get rid of Otamendi in that deal. Oh, that's genius, isn't it? That is genius. Why can't we not do that? How are we not offering Smalling, possibly in a Koulibaly deal to soften the blow? You know why? They would have took him as well. I bet Napoli would have took him. They would have. But then, it's United logic, innit? It's United logic. Roden! No, listen. Oh, God, I'm scaring myself. Seriously. Oh, let's see. Have you seen the Olsberg Twitter account? No, not, mate. Enlighten me. We're a joke, says Kelly. Oh, we are right now, unless we sign someone, Kelly. No, United has no creativity in the transfers. Comment of the day. I like that one, Sean. Loving that one, mate. Devil's Rejects. They'll put a bid in to pretend they tried to buy him. Exactly what I said, mate. It's exactly what I said. Allardyce, Sam, Big Sam in the house. Why Phil Jones injured during transfer window periods? Answer me. Because the guy is an absolute joke. I heard today. Did you see that one about Jones? The rumor today that United are trying to offload him just on loan and paying 25% of his wages to just get rid of him. It's embarrassing. This is the guy who's due a testimonial this year. And we're looking to ship the guy out and pay his wages for nothing. Oh my God. Can it get any more embarrassing when he's transfers? The club. I know what, I have my criticisms of Ollie, but this is where I totally back him in terms of the board and the ineptness that this club has in a transfer window. How we can leave our manager in a position like this. And, you know, I said it yesterday, he has had money spent on him, and there's no excuse for not getting this team gelled or a system being put out there on the field like Arteta's done, like Ancelotti's done. It's the same situation. So really, there's no excuse. But when it comes to Wally transfers and him being thrown under the bus, having to go up in front of the press and press conferences, then I'm all with him, completely with him. Charisman, the United stand guys like Flex are talking about style of play like Klopp and Pep, but the great managers like Mourinho and Fergie had a more different teams, different strategies, based approach. I don't understand the style of play argument. No, mate. Well, it's a fair point. The style of play. The way I look at it, mate, and to answer your question, is I'm looking at, I know exactly how Arteta's shaping up. I can see Arsenal and their poor team, and they are poor, especially at the back, but I'm seeing them pass the ball out from the back like they've been doing it since yesterday. I can see a style of play. I can see what they're doing, the shape, the formation change in game. So the defensive formation, I can see it change to an attacking formation when they pick up possession. You can see the shape. I can't see that with United. I said it on my fan cam. I said it in the review of the game, that I've seen Bruno playing on left wing. I'm seeing Pogba's last line of defence. Matic deeper than Maguire and Lindelof. I'm seeing no discipline from Aaron Wan-Bissaka chasing back. How far in field do you need to be? And how many times does it have to happen in a game before the shape and someone sorts it out? This is what I'm talking about, mate. I appreciate the chat, appreciate the super chat and what you're saying. There is a style of play can be made. What is our strongest formation? Tell me, do we know? We're 18 months in, we don't know what our style is, what our formation is, and what our strongest team is. Do we? I know at the end of last season, our strongest team was what started the game against Brighton yesterday. But when players are obviously out of form and are not fit enough, then we can't have that. That can't be classed as our strongest team, especially when you've got a fit Van der Beek there and he's on the bench for Pogba, who is way below par at the moment. The big names are running the show. This is what my ultimate fear is. And I just don't see a discipline in the team. That's the major issue I've got. So style of play, all that comes into it. Formation, discipline, that's a style of play all in one for me. And I don't see it. I don't see it. You can see City set up exactly the same way every single game. You know how they're going to play. You know how Pep and you know how Klopp's going to play. I now know how Ancelotti is going to play. Granted, he's been back this summer, but only to the same amount of players as what Ollie's had since he's been here. And you know what? I see it with Arteta. I can see it. I see it with Bielsa. Different league altogether. I know that. I know what he's doing. I know he will go out and buy the player he needs to fit his system. Would you sell Lindelof? Tough one. I think he can come in and do a job. I'd rather Lindelof be there than Rojo and Jones. I think that's the best way I can answer that question. He isn't a first-team starter now. He's had his chance, third year in. He's not getting any better for me. I have a 3-year rule with United. You have to at least show an improvement in them years that you've been at the club. Let's not forget, he's had a few seasons with Ollie now, so he's not got any better. I wouldn't sell him. I would keep him in reserve. I would keep him on the bench as a backup centre-back. He can sit there for me in replace of Rojo, in replace of Jones and Smalling. We don't need to get rid of Lindelof yet. He has got some attributes. Maybe timeout suit this guy because he's been thrown in here when he's clearly unfit, like we talked about last night on the show. Papers reporting that he's unfit. You know, a Sweden coach saying he's unfit, and that was before the season started. So that's where I stand with Lindelof. I'm not throwing him completely under the bus. I wouldn't sell him, no. I just don't think he deserves to start when he's playing so bad. That's how I see it. I think there's a player there in Bailly who is more than that capable, even better, and deserves his shot as well. He just doesn't get a fair crack. And this is the thing with Ole. When a player comes in, what does he have to do to stay in that team and have a fair crack like the rest of them do? Pogba plays every week. Bruno plays every week. You know what? You can't play Matic all the time. I know because of his age, you can't play 2 games in a week. But if he was younger, he would play every week because he's the only CDM we've got. And for a player to come in, what does he have to do? What does he have to do? So Danielle says, what would you do with McTominay? He's reserve at best, any Danielle. Honestly, I don't see how McTominay gets ahead of anyone else at the moment. I'm struggling with him, I really am. I want him to do good, but cheers for that, Conor, mate. I just don't see him being the one right now. He's a reserve player, and I think he would accept that. I really do. I think he would accept it. Let's see what else we got here. That. Cheers for the super chat again. Yellow bathing suit. Quality, mate. I like that name. Would you rather United use the 120 million Dortmund are asking for Sancho to strengthen other areas of the field by bringing 4 or 5 players? Or should we just pay the money on Sancho? 4 or 5 players I don't think you could get of quality that we need for that money. That's the first thing I'll say on that one, mate. Girl, whoever. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun. It's just a name. But 120 million, what does that buy us? City just bought a centre-back for 65 from the Portuguese league. A Portuguese league that's getting no bailout money at all, and you could get players on the cheap. So that's what that buys you. That's 65 million plus a player. There's half the money gone. We need a centre-back, a lot would say. Tellez, what's that going to be? 20 million. Centre-back, 65 million. Tellez, you could say there's 85 million. 85. So now what have you got left? What's that? 35 million left. Who are you going to buy? Who's the 35 million pound player? What's that? Maybe you could get Sarr, like I just said. Sarr from the Championship. There's 3 players. Would you be happier with that? Does that answer the question? Don't know. I think Upamecano would come under the category of the centre-back. Sarr would definitely be in it for that, for less than what I just said there, less than 35, but you could get him. There's 3 players. Does that strengthen United? Definitely at the back. Sarr wouldn't start the game. Gives us strength in depth. Or would you say going by Cavani for free with the wages, by Sarr, then Telles, then Upamecano, and there's 4 players in. So that's the only way I could answer that puzzle. Hopefully that clears that up. Yeah, Matt Baker there. If Sancho isn't available, go for Koulibaly and Kante. There's 2 more options. So maybe you can do it. Maybe you can. So there is a way around it if you want to do it that way. My issue and my worry is, like I said at the start of this show, that there is that get out of jail card for United. Well, they will see it as a get out of jail card. All it will do is completely piss the fan base off. 100% just send it into uproar. If we end up scraping the barrel in the championship window, because we're about to let one player go on loan, reportedly, who we bought from the championship, who Ollie bought. Let's not forget, this was one of Ollie's first signings. His first signing, actually. And we was all ranting and raving at the start of last season about him, but this is what happens. Championship players get sussed out a lot quicker. If you haven't got the qualities, then it does get very, very easy for opposition to figure you out. James got figured out last year, and you could say he's not had a fair crack at a whip. You could say he hasn't been played in the right position. He's an out-and-out winger. I agree with that. Formation does not suit, and that comes back to the style of play, formation, again. So why buy him? Why buy him? You know what I mean? Ollie wants to play him on the right wing. His best position is the left wing. It was for Swansea, and that's where he does his damage. His best games have come for us on the left, but now Rashford's there. And let's be honest, if we've got to pick between Rashford and James, it's going to be Rashford all day long, isn't it? We're not going to listen to any stupid comments about James being better than Rashford. It's just a non-argument altogether. He's not. We're talking about a guy who scored 70 goals for us, near enough. So, yeah, that one dies right there. As an option, when Rashford's out of form, yeah, no problem. But why are we thinking of selling him? When we need all the forwards we can get. Why is this rumoured? It is happening. There are rumours. Whether it goes through or not, I don't know. But there are strong rumours that James could be going out on loan to Leeds. When have United ever let a player go to Leeds? This is how much the club's changing, man. What is going on? Anyone else got a player you'd rather bring in? Imagine starting work a manager for a big club and thinking, damn, I need Daniel James. Don't. Cheers, Lucifer May. Appreciate the shout out. And fair again, mate. What's your thoughts on Pereira going to Lazio? That's my thoughts on Pereira going to Lazio, mate. Say no more. Actions speak louder than words, even though I look like a complete tit. I don't care. It's transfer deadline week and things are going to get weird. Great point, Adam. Felix Ferguson would never sell to Leeds. No, it wouldn't. This is how everything about the club has changed. I think Dave made the great work. The culture, that was the word I think he used. That's a great word. The culture of this football club has changed. The day we start selling to Leeds and Liverpool or City, whoever it may be, is the day that everything Ferguson built completely dies. It's as simple as that. It does not happen, never should happen. It's the real people will say, oh, it's a stupid talk, that. It's all United red-tinted glasses talk. Well, I'm looking back on the club's most successful period and the standards that we set as the benchmark to what I think this club should be working at. And if you don't like it, then maybe I'm just old school for you. I'm not, no concerns. But that's just how I see it, really do. What's that? Ed Woodward will be the new Fred the Red mascot. God, yeah, imagine. Be the perfect way to win that, man, wouldn't it? It's about our pride. Yeah, I know what that's saying. Yellow bathing suit again, Jade, but I just don't feel that comfortable spending the amounts of money on just one player. I don't care if it's even Mbappe. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but this club makes a lot of money, mate. That's only like us spending, well, let's look at the equivalent. That there is like the equivalent of Leeds buying Rodrigo for their club of their level right now. 110 million, 120 million for United is like 35, 40 million for Leeds and what they've just done. They spend to their means. That's how clubs should work. The turnover and the money United make, that's what we should be saying. That's the same. That's the same transfer. So I look at it that way. Every club and the turnovers and the amount of money that they make, every club spends to their means. There's a difference in City, 100%, and difference in Chelsea. We can't deny that. They've got sugar daddies, and they're an exception to the rule. I think City are just flaunting their recent win in the courts with UEFA right now because they're spending money that there's no way that they're going to be turning over. How they can say they're turning that over, I don't know. But City will just take UEFA around the houses now, I think, from now on, just abuse that rule that's been set. It's obvious, isn't it? Our club that's just had that go and happen to them, and then in the middle of a recession and pandemic, go and spend, what are they on now? Nearly 170 million this summer. And that might not be finished yet. Oh, can you imagine UEFA right now? It's like, here we go again. How are they going to cover that with no money coming in? I know sponsorships and broadcasting, but there's no way. Because we know that because United would have spent the same. So it is, isn't it? And then you break it all down. That's how I see it. I don't see how they managed to turn the books around when they've got no fans. Well, it's not even getting to no fans at City. That's that conversation right there. Well, they could spend $1 billion. We still won't win the league. With Ollie and the Glazers know it. Ooh, strong words, Andrew, mate. Strong words. He's always been like that, Andrew. He's always never changed. So you got to give him credit. He's stuck to his guns. Tagger 8, how you doing, mate? How did Aaron Wan-Bissaka lose so much confidence since he joined the club? Aaron has gone backwards in his development. Ollie, get a grip. Very interesting point. Maguire, house on fire. Wan-Bissaka, house on fire. James, house on fire. Even Bruno, house on fire, and then drifted towards the back end of last season. Coincidence? I think not, because let's go through the transfers. Well, let's go through a few recent ones. Lindelof didn't start too bad. Neither did Eric Bailly. And then what happened to them? You know what I mean? Pogba flew out of the blocks. Gone. Absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? This happens with a lot of players at United. For some reason, it's the new player bounce. They come in, it's great. But then when a mistake happens and they feel the pressure of us, the fans, I'm not going to kid myself. Yeah, I'm one who criticises. I feel like it's fair criticism. But there is a massive, massive expectancy at this football club. And a lot of these players can't handle it. And we see that in the decline. As soon as the pressure's on at United, it's a different animal to any other club in the league. I don't care how well Liverpool and City are playing. That standard is never going to be as big as Manchester United's, and the expectation is never going to be as big. There's no club, apart from maybe Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich maybe, with the expectation levels of a Manchester United. It's as simple as that. That is exactly what and where our standards are. And if players can't handle it, then you see that suffer on the pitch. Maybe this is what's happening with the likes of Aaron and Harry. You just don't know. I think Harry's got a little bit more mental strength about him. We will see in the coming weeks, because this is not going to be easy for the boys. Mourinho's coming and he's going to be gunning for this team. He really is. He's already had a dig at Ollie in his comments that he made about Mourinho and the crossbars and the goals being small. He's raring to go, and he was going to be all out all week preparing for this team, preparing for United. And you know what? It would not surprise me. Let's see. Looking worn down, says Kelly. Yeah, unfit. Very unfit. What we put that down to, well, you all know my thoughts on that. I'm not going to get into that again. God knows how much United are spending on players a season without the 140 million from the games. What Woodward's going to do? Ruin the club. We've obviously still got the revolving credit facility, the 150 million that United borrowed, and we know from when Kieran Maguire was on my show, he explained exactly what that means. And that is basically like an overdraft for the football club to use and dip into whenever they want, and an interest is charged on top of whatever they borrowed, pretty much. So are they about to blow it or use part of it to get the Sancho deal done? Or are they going to use it now because they know there's no fans coming in, probably this season, no income coming in? Is that just going to go to cover the books and keep United floating, keep the shareholders happy, keep everyone moving along nicely? I mean, we was all big and up for how United acted under the lockdown rules, how we treated the staff, didn't furlough anyone, so we can't really kick up too much of a stink on that. But at the end of the day, United do have money there, and Kieran pretty much said that that was the case. There is money in the bank. What are they saving it for? Why are they saving it? We have the overdraft facility. Why are we not using it to even get a player like Telles in? You know what? Is that not worth just putting that in just to make the team a bit stronger? You know what, Telles, 20 million. We made that in the position we finished in the league from the Premier League on the last season. We gained another 20 million from the Premier League this season just because of the position we finished in the league. So why not give that back to the manager and say, look, that's the minimum we can give you for getting us back in the Champions League and keeping all our shareholders, the Adidas deal, everyone on side and keeping this club afloat. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Because that's how much we made from just finishing the 3 positions higher. You get paid per position you finish in the league. So why not give that back to the manager as a minimum requirement? You can say Van der Beek, but surely we'd be looking at spending more than 50 million in a transfer window. If we sell these players that are rumoured to be going out, then we could be looking at making money in the transfer window in a recession. Wow, now that is business sense at its highest level. That is unbelievable. But how we can get to this stage of a transfer window, I know we've done it before, I know, but I've seen what everyone else has done this time, and this has been a different window. Every other club in that league, you know what I mean? West Ham are in dire straits, but what they're about to spend this week, that is rumoured that they're going to be spending, they're going to overtake what we spend. And my God, that just cannot happen. It really cannot happen. We can't have the likes of Villa, Leeds, Newcastle, West Ham. You know what? Even Fulham are not far behind us. All these teams spending the money that they've spent, spending more than Manchester United. That is an embarrassment. That really, really is an embarrassment. And that's what I will not be accepting. That is just beyond. It's a minimum. We're in at least the top 4 clubs for top spend every summer. That is a minimum. That should be what our mark is, and that's what our standard should be, at least. But can you see it? Can you honestly see it now? Some people have said to me, some people have DM'd me and said, is this a sign that the Glazers could be selling up? You know what? Whenever a business is looking to wind itself up or sell on, they don't spend any money. They really are careful with the purse strings. Can we say that about the Glazers, though? Because they are careful every single time, aren't they? Let's just get through a few messages before we finish up. We only got 1 player during the whole transfer window. What are United doing in the last few weeks? Twiddling the thumbs or sitting on them, mate. That's what I would say. We get every day waiting on the signing. It's a joke, mate. They get our hopes up, don't they? Big time. That's what it is. Chance they are selling. Wishful thinking, mate, innit? Wishful thinking. Like, sell De Gea and Pogba. Have you seen Moneyball? Sell the talent, mate. I love that film. That is a quality film, by the way. Good shout. It's what everyone bases their whole structure around now. It's fantastic. It's like Brentford. Brentford run their club like that. It's brilliant. It's good to see. The only way things will change with the Glazers in charge is to get an exceptional manager like Klopp, which is unlikely. Yeah, we've seen that. It's a fair point, Dino, mate, because that's what happened with Fergie, wasn't it? He didn't spend a penny compared to what the other managers have spent. And he won his trophies. Jesus. They don't suffer. The rich don't suffer, only us peasants. Yeah, really, mate. Need to start more. Bayern needs to start more. He is wasted. Shout, mate. I've been saying it for weeks. Woodward has no business sense, mate. He has business sense, mate. He's very good at what he does. Otherwise, the Glazers won't have him in charge. But we're looking at the Glazers and what they want for the club. Ed Woodward has done a fantastic job. That is how they see it. Their red is the Premiership trophy, and that's what it is. Their black is the Premiership trophy, isn't it? So he is a fantastic businessman, a football man who understands what football is about. No, he does see the Champions League top four though as a goal. That is without doubt now clear. What else have we got here just to finish up? Love your childhood. Hope to see you back on United stand. Cheers, but they won't back a top quality manager though. Fair point. Fair points. Fergie broke the British transfer record many times. He did, but under the Glazers, he saved them money. So I think Ferguson spent the money that the club made. That was the difference, I think. He spent the money the club made, and I think he just got in with the Glazers too early. I think I don't know. I'm not going to say they fed him a load of bull, but let's be honest. He saved the Glazers a shitload of money. That's what he did. He was perfect for the Glazers. But like I said earlier on, money has been spent, 1.3 billion since Fergie left. So it's not like it's not, has it? God, that's a scary thought, that, innit? Anyway, people, that is it. I'm going to get back to work. As if this wasn't work, dealing with United all the time. I don't know. Oh, God. Cheers for tuning in, guys, and supporting the channel as always. All the super chats and all your comments from last night's show and the prize giving and everything like that. It was fantastic to give back. I will be doing more of that because you guys have been there from the get-go and are what makes this channel. Thanks for tuning in. Do give the video a share. Give it a like as well. Big thumbs up, as always, to everyone for coming on. Subscribe if you are watching me for the first time. It isn't always Van Cam. I do stuff at home, but I had a minute, and I thought I'd come and talk to you lot. On that note, I will see you soon. Bye-bye.